The Indian independence movement was a series of historic events with the ultimate aim of ending the British rule in India. The movement spanned from 1857 to 1947. Throughout these 90 years the movement was carried out in various formats in various parts of the country. The most famous format was the one adopted by Mahatma Gandhi, and it was centered on the principle of non-violence. Nevertheless, the contribution of various groups and formats cannot be ignored. One such movement was known as the Chittagong Uprising, also known as the Chittagong Armory Raid. It was carried out on 18 April 1930. It was an attempt to raid the armory of police and auxiliary forces from the Chittagong Armory in the Bengal Presidency of British India. This raid was carried out by members of the Indian Republican Army, a revolutionary group led by Surya Sen. The Indian Republican Army favoured armed uprisings as a means to achieve India's independence from British colonial rule. They were inspired by the 1916 Easter Rising in Ireland. However, they were ideologically influenced more by the communists in Soviet Russia. Many of these raiders later became communists. The group included Ganesh Ghosh, Loknath Bail, Ambika Chakrabarti among others. Sen devised a plan to capture the two main armories in Chittagong, destroy the telegraph and telephone office, and take as hostages members of the European Club, while rail and communication lines were to be cut in order to sever Chittagong from Calcutta. The imperial banks at Chittagong were to be looted to gather money for further uprisings. As part of the plan, various jailed revolutionaries would be freed. The plan was put into action at 10 p.m. on April 18, 1930. The police armory in Dampura was captured by a group of revolutionaries led by Ganesh Ghosh, while another group of 10 men led by Lonath Bal took the auxiliary forces armory. Some 65 people took part in the raid. They failed to locate ammunition but did succeed in cutting telephone and telegraph wires and disrupting train movements. About 16 of the group captured the European Club's headquarters, but there were few club members present there. Upon learning of the situation, the Europeans were able to get the alarm out to the troops, which the revolutionaries had not expected. After the raids, the revolutionaries gathered outside the police armory, where Sen took a military salute, hoisted a national flag, and proclaimed a provisional revolutionary government. The revolutionaries left Chittagong town before dawn and marched towards the Chittagong hill ranges, looking for a safe place to hide. A few of the members, including Ganesh Ghosh, Ananda Singh and the teenagers Ananda Gupta and Jiban Ghoshal, were elsewhere, and almost captured at Feni railway station but managed to escape. Later they stayed in hiding in a house in Chandan Nagar. After a few days, the police traced some of the revolutionaries. They were surrounded by several thousand troops while they took shelter in Jalalabad Hills near Chittagong cantonment on the afternoon of April 22, 1930. Over 80 troops and 12 revolutionaries were killed in the ensuing gunfight in the Battle of Jalalabad Hills. Sen dispersed his men to neighbouring villages in small groups, and thus some escaped. A few fled to Calcutta while some were arrested. An intense crackdown on the resistance ensued. The mass trial of those arrested during and after the raids concluded in January 1932, and the judgment was delivered on March 1, 1932. 12 of the defendants were sentenced to deportation for life, 2 received 3-year prison sentences, and the remaining 32 individuals were acquitted. The 12 deported to Andaman included Ganesh Ghosh, Loknath Bal, 16-year-old Ananda Gupta, and Ananda Singh. The Chittagong revolutionary group suffered a fatal blow when Masterda Surya Sen was arrested on February 16, 1933 from Gairala village after a tip-off from an insider of the group. For the reward money, jealousy, or both, Netra Sen told the British government that Surya Sen was at his house. But before Netra Sen was able to get his 10,000 rupee reward, he was assassinated by the revolutionaries. Surya Sen along with Tarak Swardoshtidas were hanged by the British administration on January 12, 1934 after inhuman torture in prison. Let's remember our martyr heroes. Jai Hind.